What is going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a great night. How about that W? How about that W? The Sixers win 106-96 against the Celtics. Be honest with you all right now, I am by myself tonight. Thiago is unavailable. Dibes was unavailable. I'm here by myself, so keep that comment section rolling. I see Chilla in here saying let's go. I see Ben Butler saying love it when the Sixers beat Boston. I think that's more than obvious. Who doesn't love when the Sixers beat up on Boston, especially when it's in the fashion that Joel Embiid does today. That was utterly ridiculous what Embiid did to the centers for Boston. And even in the fourth, when they pretty much just put Semi Ojeleye and they put Grant Williams on him down there. So obviously insane game for Embiid tonight. I think he had 35 points, 9 of 19, 6 rebounds. He even could have had 40 if he kept hitting his free throws tonight. So insane game from Joel. And Chilla, yes, Joel is a bad man. And I was going to bring up a tweet that I put up during the game when he hit that. I think you know what move I'm talking about when I say this, but when he hit that little step back on Luke Cornett, a dirty move, and I'm gonna put it up right now. Give me 1 second. Keep that comment section rolling. Like I said before, I don't think I'm gonna be joined by anybody today, but we will be back at full strength with me and Thiago for next game for sure. But I just wanted to come in because I saw you guys waiting in here. Wanted to come in and talk to you guys about this game because how about you can't dismiss this game. I can't just not come on here and give you guys a post game show. Joel Embiid going off. Danny Green going off for 17 points, 5 for 6 from 3 with 2 steals. Insane. Ben Simmons didn't get the numbers, but definitely played better today than in last game. I think everyone can admit that. Played some really good defense against Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum only getting 7 of 17 in field goals with 20 points. Had himself might be a little offensive, but a Donovan Mitchell type night, getting about the same amount of shots as he gets points. Let me share this real quick for Joel Embiid's shot. Let's talk about this for a second. How about that? How about Joel Embiid? Damn is all you could say to that. Look at that move. There is no other big man in this league right now that you could see do that. And I don't like insanity. Insanity, man. I'm just going to leave that on the screen for a little bit so you guys can just appreciate the best center in the league doing that move because that's crazy. Danny Green, like I said, going 5 for 6 from 3, 17 points. Insane from the corner tonight, just dropping everything. Trying to think. Tobias Harris getting some buckets on Jaylen Brown today as well. I saw that. Let me see. Overall, defensively, Sixers playing immaculate defense tonight, turning the Celtics over 20 times, out-rebounding them, field goal percentage, decent. Like here, and I think this is one of the most impressive things that you probably wouldn't have seen in years past, the three-point shooting you saw. The Sixers beat the Celtics when the Celtics shot 40% from 3. Now, can we talk about how many times we actually may have seen that in years past? In years past, if they had a center like Luke Cornett that was out there shooting, stretching us out on the floor, we weren't able to keep up with them because our three-point shooting wasn't nearly as good as them. The fact that our three-point shooting is now up to par is just immaculate, and to me is a huge difference maker and you winning games against teams that can shoot well from the perimeter. Let's see what we got going on in the comment section here. Chilla saying barbecue chicken. Yes, sir. Richard says when Ben plays, they can't beat the Sixers. I agree. And that to me, that was the big difference in them in the playoff series last year. When Ben is on the floor, when Ben is not on the floor, Jason Tatum can get buckets, and that's just how it is. It's really tough for – hold on real quick. Thiago might be able to come in here with me. I'm sending them an invite to the stream. When Ben Simmons is off the floor, Jason Tatum has a lot easier of a time, even if it is Matisse Thybulle, just purely based on length and size. So Ben Simmons is an insane difference maker to the Sixers winning games against the Celtics. And there's proof is in the pudding when it came to last year in the playoffs in the bubble. So yeah, it's a lot harder, especially with Tobias, with the defense he's bringing this year. It's a lot harder for the Celtics to sit here and really do anything against us offensively, especially because they don't have if you really think about it, Kemba Walker is not the dominant player he used to be at the guard position when he was with the Hornets after some of the injuries he's had and just his age. Chilla said Joel had a monstrous dunk right before this. Yeah, you're right, he did. I wasn't able to get that. I was not able to record that on my phone on the TV in time. But yes, that was an insane dunk as well. Richard said a big should not be able to do that. Yeah, and you're right. A big should not be able to do the kind of moves that Joel has been doing this year. This isn't even the first time we've seen this. We saw this. How long ago was that? I don't even know how long ago that was, but we have seen this has been a consistent thing. It's not like this is a flash in the pan. We see Joel break out these moves every once in a while. Like this is a consistent thing at the kind of moves he's breaking out. And it's not even just like early games or in points that games don't matter. Like he's breaking it out in big time moments. And I will say, I mean, they had this game in control for most of the game. So it wasn't necessarily a big time moment, you want to say, but it's still impressive. Mr. Swago says, if Tristan Thompson is barely better, if not the same level as Dwight, what makes them think this roster can stop the MVP? I don't think they think that. I don't think they think they can, if I'm honest with you. I think there's a reason why they kept having that. Well, one, Robert Williams fouled out, and they kept having to bring in guys like Taco Fall and Luke Cornett to try to switch up and try to, get people in there that didn't have as many fouls, basically throwing bodies at Joel. Chilla said, Danny is such an important piece. I think that's an understatement. Danny Green, to me, has not only been the glue when it comes to hitting shots on the perimeter for this team, but he's also been the glue in the locker room. He is, to me, has been damn near a perfect asset to them. Not only in getting him did you get rid of Al Horford's horrendous contract, you also brought in a guy who can do a lot for you in this team now. And we've been saying this all year. But Danny Green brings the spacing you need at that 3 position and also can defend a second best, third best scorer on the other team in the guard position, which is really exactly what you needed there. Danny Green is the Josh Richardson that you needed at the shooting guard spot last year. And Seth Curry is the actual shooting guard you need on this team, if we're honest with each other. It's just Danny Green is invalid. Like to me, that's why it was kind of crazy that people wanted to trade him and when the trade deadline came up. Like I understand Kyle Lowry is a pretty piece, but the amount of stuff you needed to give up to get him, Danny Green just gives you so much. And so it's just, to me, kind of a perfect asset to you. Oh man. We got somebody joining us, guys. We got somebody joining us. It is your man, your favorite man. It's Thiago. What's up, bro? I didn't think you were going to be here today.
You think I was going to miss this beatdown? No way.
Listen. I said, you know what? I'm just going to come on here by myself. But now I don't have to. Now we got our man Thiago here with us, man. I was just talking about Danny Green. Someone put in the comments, they said Danny Green is such an important piece, and I was just saying how valuable he is to this team and in the ways he is valuable. I don't know if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, man, he's been so good since the All-Star game. It's been a joy to watch. He's fallen exactly into that role that you want out of Danny Green, right? So guy who's going to hit open shots, but most importantly, he's playing tremendous defense. So I think his IQ playing off the ball, and he has that tremendous feel of just how to play passing lanes. I thought that was the key tonight for the Sixers. I don't know what you thought, but the Sixers' activity playing off ball, playing passing lanes, to me was the difference maker. They were all over the place. Boston doesn't really have great passers, and the Sixers really, really took advantage of that. So I think Danny Green falls exactly into that line of, smart guys playing off the ball, understands their role, and he's been great, man. No complaints with Danny Green recently, none whatsoever.
No, I completely agree. And Chilla also said, how many did Seth have tonight from 3? Seth had He shot 1 for 5 from 3. Wasn't hitting his open looks as much tonight, but that's going to happen at times.
Yeah.
9 points, 2 assists. He still went 4 for 9 from the field, and this is the thing that I think is more valuable about Seth Curry in comparison to guys like JJ Redick, who have been on this team in the past, is Seth Curry gives you more than just three-point shooting when he is having an off night. So on an off night where JJ's not scoring, it's basically null and he's unplayable. On an off night where JJ's not shooting from 3 well.
Yep.
On a night where Curry's not shooting from 3 well, he's still able to play make a little bit, still able to play better defense than JJ did. I mean, Curry had 1 steal tonight against a very good perimeter scoring team, and he's still able to score on driving to the basket, getting his own. Going against pick and roll, going up into pick and rolls, got that little floater game he loves.
Yeah.
So he just gives you a lot more than what we've had in the past at that shooting guard spot. Also being a insanely good shooter as well from 3.
Yeah, he's a feisty defender. Like I thought that J. Redick was a freaking turnstile. He was
lazy, or not lazy, but it was more like he
wasn't competitive. He wasn't competitive. Like he would.
To me, the biggest difference with JJ and Seth on the defensive end is one, Seth does have a little bit more length than JJ. Like JJ is literally like a minus wingspan, and he's already small, and he's slight as well. Where Curry has a little bit more length and is able to stick his arms around people a little bit more, even though he is about the same size as JJ.
No, I agree. He's not a zero. Now, I do think that when they do get George Hill in the fold, whenever it is between now and 2025, because they just came out that he might not play for a while. But when he does play, I do think he's going to take over Seth Curry's role late in game. I think he's going to close games out. I think Curry is probably going to go to the bench, assuming the scoring situation. But I do think that one of the reasons why he didn't get as many open looks tonight, or any looks for that matter, is the fact that, I mean, it was clear as day what the Sixers game plan was. It was bully ball 101. It was Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, oftentimes Ben Simmons, in the paint, backing your guy down and seeing how far you can back him down, man, until you get fouled or you stand under the rim. So I thought in a game plan like that, it's really not – there's not a lot of secrets behind – scoring. And, when the double did come towards Embiid mostly, I thought Joel made the right decisions. The ball kicked around, and it was usually Danny Green getting the open looks. But, against Boston, there's not a lot of secrets, man. They cannot defend Joel Embiid. They just can't defend Joel Embiid.
Yeah, their new addition, Luke Cornett, got shown a little bit today. If you want to watch this for a second.
Oh, man.
Looked like a Harden move. I won't call it a travel since it's Embiid, he said. Dude,
yeah,
I was talking about this as soon as I jumped on here. I was just like, dude, that's a bad man. Like, that's a bad man.
Yeah, he took that shot right after Tatum stepped back. And these guys, they work together with the same trainer, the same
Drew Hanlon.
Exactly. Yep. So this was a way of saying, you know what, man, whatever you can do, I can do a little bit better. It was exactly that.
Dude, man, it's ridiculous. It's to me, and I talked about this already, but I'm gonna mention it again since you're here. To me, it's ridiculous that a guy this big and this isn't something that's new. It's not something that we haven't seen him do before. Like, he's been doing this consistently this year when he's healthy. Like these kinds of moves and this kind of aggressiveness to trying new things on the court. To me, that's what's super impressive about it, is that he is comfortable in breaking out these moves like this. Like, he's confident in them. And that's the biggest thing right there, confidence. The fact that he's confident to put on these kind of moves in the game is just amazing.
We talked about this in the podcast before. Embiid's growth as a ball handler is night and day from where he was, even early last year, so early 2020. He has taken leaps as a ball handler, to the point where I don't even think it's a stretch to call Joel Embiid a guard. Just the way that he handles the ball and maneuver. I'm dead serious, man.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, the stuff that he does with the ball now is what things that point guards and other type of guards do on the court, and it has completely changed the way defenders approach him. They can't, they play up on him now. It's a problem because he's gonna go right by you. His turnovers are down. His passing prowess is up. It's MVP type stuff, and it was again today. It was quite a joy to watch. And
Chilla says playing soccer is why he can move like that.
Exactly, man.
If that's why he can move like that, I will.
Here we go. Just did.
Okay, sorry, my mic just went. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
You're back. You're back.
Does it sound okay?
Sounds great now.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what just happened. No, what I was gonna say is, if that is the key to people, big dudes being able to move like this, I need Ben Simmons to retire real fast, go play soccer, and then come back. Just go play soccer and then come back. Like, we'll see what happens then.
It's I think the different sports definitely plays a role in it. There are articles that talk about that, podcasts that talk exactly about that. But I do think he studies guys like Hakeem Olajuwon and things like that, and other guys like that really help his game. And some of the stuff that he does is straight out of the Hakeem playbook and whatnot. I think it would benefit Simmons to do some of the same stuff. I'm not sure Simmons,
and I'm sure he does. I think Simmons just doesn't study as much of post work like right. This, at least. I think he's more like, you can see, and like you can see from our boy Brock's videos how much he takes from guys like Magic Johnson and LeBron James.
Yeah,
like that. You can tell those are the inspirations. Those are the kinds of people he's looking at, and it makes sense. That's his frame. That's his body. That's his game. So.
But even in the post, Justin, I do think like you see Ben in the post oftentimes a little bit stiff. He doesn't have a lot of footwork, doesn't have a lot of moves going on. I think if you even study Joel Embiid, man, like go in the film room with Joel and be like, what are you doing, man? Like, what is your thing in the post? I think you would learn a lot from Embiid that way. Yeah,
no, I don't disagree. And Mr. Swagger says Joel and Ben, the best guards on the team. I mean, listen. You're not exactly wrong. You're not exactly wrong. All right, what we got over here? DeCleva says Ben studies Call of Duty. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean he's got.
You're not wrong.
He's got his hobbies, man. I don't hate the hobbies, but you got to get in the gym and study. There's no question about that.
Definitely, and you know he's doing that. That's a free time thing. Chilla says he's got the athletic ability from playing multiple sports growing up and then watches the right people. And that's really what it is. And I will say Joel is also just came into the sport as being a freak of nature as it was already. Mm-hmm. Like the guy is just an athletic freak for his size. And if you really think about it this way as well, he used to be a lot skinnier. Like he was a skinny kid like growing up and like even in high school when he was playing when he first came over to the US, he was very, very skinny. Like now he's doing the same moves he was doing when he was skinny as a big dude. Like now he's jacked and now he's just able, not only has the finesse game, now he's got the physical game too. Because if you remember correctly, Thiago, like early in his career here, he wasn't bullying people.
No.
Like it was a lot of rim running, a lot of defensive rim running, a lot of finesse play in the post. Now he's putting his shoulder into people, he's dunking on people. Like you didn't see that in years past. So it's just the size, progressive size that he's gained. And I think that's why this year he's gotten so much confidence on going inside so much more. I think he's realized with the size plus the conditioning. Just how easy it is for him to get buckets, because now with that size, he's a threat in the inside and gets so many free throws now as well. Like I think he's unlocked a lot this year, and I think he understands the game so much more than he has in years past.
And I think to your point, how he has grown as particularly as a ball handler and having the ability to face up players, is going to prolong his career a lot longer because. For the most part, in the past, he's been a pound the ball in the post, my back to the basket, just kind of back you up. And yes, that's effective, and it's always been effective with Joel Embiid. But that approach does take a toll on your body. And I think that the way that he's approached the game now, his ability to score from multiple parts of the court, It's going to be less training on his body over the course of his career. So I do think that will prolong his career in the long run. And if you think about it, just from the standpoint of like, where this guy was, I mean, this guy didn't play basketball until he
16,
right? And then he went to Kansas, played a couple games or whatever, got hurt, didn't play the NCAA tournament, missed 2 years in the NBA, comes back, and like what? This is what his fifth season? Fifth season, right? Playing season. He played 2016, 17, 18. Yeah, this is his fifth playing season. Anyways, I mean, this is where he's at now. I mean, what I'm trying to say is the guy has just taken like complete leaps that I don't think you can really compare to any other NBA player in history. It's remarkable. It's quite remarkable.
It really is. It really is. And why don't we really break down this game then? Why don't we break down a little bit? We don't have too much time left, but let's say like what was your biggest takeaway from this game? Your biggest takeaway?
I mean, I touched on it, but I'll say it again. I think that defensively, Philadelphia showed why they are a legitimate title contender today. Yeah, you look around the NBA, you look at games that matter. You know, you're gonna get your sloppy games every now and then, but you look at the teams that matter and games that matter. I will challenge people to see this type of defensive effort against a playoff team. I thought that the way that Philadelphia played defense tonight, it is quite a warning shot for the East. Teams like Milwaukee, even teams like Brooklyn, man, like this is a legitimate defensive team. It's their DNA, it's their culture, it's what they're built on. And I thought the entire game tonight, the team was locked in. Second unit as well. Dwight Howard played great defense. Shake showed up on defense. Furter kind of made some plays. So if Philadelphia can get this type of cohesive defensive effort going to the playoffs, they're going to be a load, like an absolute load. And you get this type of offensive MVP performance from Joel Embiid. That's a legitimate title contender. So, you know, we talked about it after the Memphis game, you know, coming out on Tuesday and showing what they're about. You know, this is a statement that, you know, this is what they stand for, and this is what they're about. And it's definitely scary for the East moving forward, no question.
Yeah. And, just ultimately, just the fact that the Sixers, like, do you remember we used to be scared of the Celtics? Like, it used to be a legitimate thing that, like, it was like, okay, they have so many good perimeter players. Like, they had Al Horford who could just go at Joel. Like, yeah. It's just, there's just a difference in this team, man. And the difference is the 3-point shooting that we added around our stars and just the mentality that Joel has. And it's crazy that we went from having a team that we would be scared about going up against perimeter teams to now having an interior team that we say, okay, you got perimeter guys.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can stop the big man, and then you can possibly win. You love to see that.
Yeah, I think Boston has just gone like way too small. So they want to be the switchable, we can defend anybody, anywhere, anytime. And I mean, that's great. You know, that has its definitely benefits against certain teams. It doesn't work against Joel Embiid, man. Like, it doesn't. You know, they played a kid today, Robert Williams, who they've been used as a starter. You know, they thought this guy could match up size to size with Joel Embiid. That kid had no chance, man. No chance. from the tip, that kid was barbecue chicken, man. So, I mean, they want to play that style. And, you know, last year it worked. And, you know, to their credit, you know, they played really well in that series. But like you said, you know, Philadelphia's shooters around Joel Embiid now. The space is entirely different. You have Ben Simmons on Jason Tatum, which we saw what that is again. You know, there's no 30-point outings for Jason Tatum when Ben Simmons on the court, period. And that was one of the biggest things that happened last year was Jason Tatum going off, and the Sixers had no answer. So I think the combination between Boston being a small team, wanting to play small, Sixers spacing, Ben Simmons on Jason Tatum, that's a tough equation for Boston, man. I don't think they can solve that equation in 7 games. I really don't. I think that I see the Sixers doing pretty quick work with Boston in a playoff series. And I thought even last year with their clunky like lineups, I mean, they played Boston pretty easily in the regular season. It was the playoffs without Ben Simmons where things got a little bit hairy. So, I mean, obviously, you don't want Boston in the first round. You want an easier team in the first round, but
I actually think the Boston would be fine in the first round.
Really?
I would be.
You think so?
Yeah, I really would.
Really?
Because to me, it's an easy matchup for Joel. Like in the sense of like interior wise, like I think that's an easy series for Joel, and he's gonna have fresher legs going into the next one.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Like because the only reason I think about it that way is because like think about if you're gonna have to play the Bucks or the Nets in the next series, or even like later down the line, like. Think about any other team in the East that's a contender right now that actually has big men that can defend that can somewhat like not give Joel problems, but are big enough to sit there and like Joel's gonna have to put some work in a little bit. Like even like obviously the Nets don't have anybody insane, but LaMarcus Aldridge is a big dude. You got DeAndre Jordan. You have Bam Adebayo with the Heat. You got
Brook Lopez.
Oh my goodness, Brook Lopez and Giannis. Like, there's just a lot of other teams that are like the big contenders, have centers or have power, like have guys that can sit there and not give him trouble, but make him have to work hard. I feel like that's a Celtics series early. He's not going to have to work as much against their big men down low. And don't get me wrong, Celtics are going to try to make him work. They're going to send a shit ton of doubles. Yeah, they're going to make it tough on him. But I just mean when it comes to banging down low and like body being like keeping the body fresh, he's not going to have to do that as much against the Celtic. It's going to be more throwing it around the horn and everything like that, which I think it helps for team basketball a little more. And I think that's a better series to get continuity going to the next one.
The one thing I do think does worry me a little bit about Boston, not that it's going to swing his series either way.
Yeah.
But their shooting, especially how they operate off the pick and roll, is something that Sixers have always had issues with when trying to defend those guys. It's always been a problem, even under Brett Brown. And it was again a problem. Yeah, Larry Brown. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
But it was a problem again tonight. I mean, Boston hit a ton of 3-pointers tonight. Obviously, their turnovers and their poor defense kind of made up for it. But that's something that they can do, and they can hurt you once in a while. I mean, there's really no perfect matchup. There was a comment on the chat about playing the Heat, not wanting to play the Heat. I get that. Miami's super versatile. They can play big. They can play small. They got Jimmy Butler. I do like the matchup because of, again, what Ben can do to Jimmy Butler. He can kind of erase that situation. And from that point on, like, Miami doesn't really have a lot of shot creators. I mean, Dragic, Oladipo.
Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, Jimmy Butler.
Dragic and Oladipo I could see, but I'm not a huge Kendrick Nunn guy, and I don't think Tyler Hero is going to swing a series either way. But yeah, so I mean, Miami's tricky. But I mean, you're gonna have to play those teams, man. Like, that's what the East's about. You gotta, if you think you're a title contender, teams like Miami should not stand in your way.
No,
right? It should not. They should not stand in your way. So
I agree. But listen, we're gonna get out of here. So guys, if you haven't already, go follow Thiago on Twitter @tscabia. All the good stuff. He also puts out articles on our website at thepaintedlines.com. Also, go follow us at The Painted Lines on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter @J_Persichetti for Blue Coats updates. Listen, Sixers come away with the win, 106-96. Honestly, they could have scored a lot more, in my opinion, but it slowed down at the end and like basically left their backups in there for the last like 4 minutes of the game. So, listen, great game. Fun to watch after the stinker they put up the other day. So we will see you guys on Friday when the Pelicans match up against the Sixers at 8 o'clock on NBC Philly. Zion Williamson versus Ben Simmons.
That's a good one.
Let's see what happens. All right, guys. Go follow us on Twitter. Like the video. Please subscribe if you're not already. And we will see you guys next time. I'm going to run our ad real quick, and then we'll be done. Peace, guys. Have a good one.
Hey, what's up, guys? March Madness is here. The NBA and NHL are both in full swing. Baseball opening day is coming up. While we here at the Painted Lines are devoted to bringing you top-notch content from all the major sports, we are excited to also now give you the opportunity to cash in on all that content and knowledge. If you follow the link below, you will have the opportunity to sign up with BetRivers, an online sportsbook, and get an instant new user deposit match of up to $250. That's free money that you can use and try to turn into more free money. Let's go. Don't sit there and waste all that money. Turn every basket into an otherwise meaningless Cavs-Timberwolves matchup in on a random Wednesday in March. That makes it all the more exciting. For betting tips and advice, be sure to check out written content from our top prognosticator, Money Max, on our website at thepaintedlines.com, or check out the Tough Cover podcast right here on the Painted Lines YouTube channel. You've seen the commercials all over TV and radio, but now is the time. Sign up today with BetRivers using the link below and start cashing in on your love for sports. Using the link below will automatically inform BetRivers that TPL sent you, and you'll get that new user deposit match of up to $250. Don't miss out on this opportunity for some free